Oh, let's work the rotator cuff. Hey, we've got to rehabilitate rotator cuff. Oh, I've injured my rotator cuff. So what are the rotator cuff? The rotator cuff muscles are a group of 4 deep muscles that sit in the shoulder joint. Now they start with the one on top, which sits up here, just above the spinal scapula, called your supraspinatus. Then underneath the spinal scapula, you have what we call the infraspinatus. Then down here we have the teres minor. And underneath the scapula we have the subscapularis. So let's look particularly today at the one of the rotator cuff which is more prone to injury, tendonitis, tendinopathy, and that is the supraspinatus. So I'm going to get my little trusty red tissue here to show you where it is and what it actually does and its role and its function. The supraspinatus means super, means superior, spine, superior of spine. So it sits above the spinal scapula, supraspinatus. And it originates, means the muscle starts in this little groove here called your supraspinous fossa. Supra, superior, spine, which is the spinal scapula. Fossa means a hole. So it originates in the supraspinous fossa, just above here, and the trapezius goes over the top. It runs underneath this bony structure here called your chromium process, which is that lump that you feel on your shoulder there. And it inserts onto the head of the humerus, or the humeral head. Now, because it runs underneath the chromium process, it has the potential to be impinged, means we talk about shoulder impingement, between the chromium process and the head of the humerus. Because it inserts into the head of the humerus, when you move the humerus into particularly abduction, because the action of the supraspinatus is initiate shoulder abduction, and if you bring your shoulder above 90 degrees, of shoulder abduction, then the muscle, as you can see, will get impinged between these 2 articulating surfaces. That increases its potential to wear and tear the tendon down. So the point being is avoid actions or loaded or momentum or accelerated actions above the head, because that puts the supraspinatus in the position of impingement, potential for wear and tear, tendonitis and tendinopathy. But the main function of the supraspinatus is to work with the other 3 rotator cuff to stabilise the head of the humerus into the glenoid cavity. So it's a good stabiliser of the glenohumeral joint. So stop impinging it, wearing out, because now you know why it will wear out, because it gets grinded between these 2 bones by avoiding these types of actions, loaded movements, and look after it and make sure that you train it in with a safe exercise, which we'll go a bit more into later when you look at exercise selections, and that will be no cow poo.